Alright guys, this week we are reading another Jacqueline Woodson book. It is called Each Kindness, and this is a book with a really great message or moral to the story. Something that the author wants you to learn without coming right out to say it. So as we read it and as you work through your activities today, I want you to come up with what the message of the story is, what the author wants you to know. Each Kindness by Jacqueline Woodson, illustrated by E.B. Lewis. That winter, snow fell on everything, turning the world a brilliant white. One morning, as we settled into our seats, the classroom door opened and the principal came in. She had a girl with her, and she said to us, "This is Maya." Maya looked down at the floor. I think I heard her whisper, "Hello." We all stared at her. Her coat was open and the clothes beneath it looked old and ragged. Her shoes were spring shoes, not meant for the snow. A strap on one of them had broken. So why do you think Maya's head is down? Do you think maybe it could be because she's embarrassed of what she's wearing? That's a possibility. Let's keep reading. Our teacher, Miss Albert, said, "Say good morning to our new student." But most of us were silent. The only empty seat was next to me. That's where our teacher put Maya. And on that first day, Maya turned to me and smiled. But I didn't smile back. I moved my chair, myself, and my books a little farther away from her. When she looked my way, I turned to the window and stared out at the snow. Every day after that, when Maya came into the classroom, I looked away and didn't smile back. Now, why wouldn't she smile to a classmate? Why wouldn't she accept her classmate? A smile is a sweet gesture. Doesn't take much just to smile back. And then imagine how Maya must be feeling if she's giving a sweet gesture smile and not getting that in return. It must be pretty heartbreaking. My best friends that year were Kendra and Sophie. At lunchtime, we walked around the schoolyard, our fingers laced together, whispering secrets into each other's ears. One day, while we were near the slide, Maya came over to us. She held open her hand to show us a shiny Jackson tiny red ball she'd gotten for her birthday. "It's a high bouncer," she said. But none of us wanted to play. So Maya played a game against herself. How are you feeling knowing that no one's playing with Maya? I'm disappointed, and I'm sad at the girls who aren't including her. That afternoon, when we got back into the classroom, Maya whispered to me, "Bet you can't guess who the new Jax champion of the world is." Behind me, Andrew whispered, "Chloe's got a new friend. Chloe's got a new friend." "She's not my friend," I whispered back. Now imagine how Maya must feel. She knows that Chloe doesn't want to be her friend. And she knows that other students in the class would make fun of her if she were Maya's friend. That must make Maya feel really bad and sad on the inside. The weeks passed. Every day we whispered about Maya, laughing at her clothes, her shoes, the strange food she brought for lunch. Some days Maya held out her hand to show us what she had brought out to school. A deck of cards, pick-up sticks, a small tattered doll. Whenever she asked us to play, we said no. So it sounds like just because Maya is different, has different clothes, maybe can't afford the same things as her classmates, that she's not being included and no one wants to be her friend. It's not very nice. The days grew warmer and warmer. The pond thawed, grass began growing where snow had once been. One day, Maya came to school wearing a pretty dress and fancy shoes. But the shoes and the dress looked like they'd belonged to another girl before Maya. Well, is anything wrong with that, boys and girls? Not at all. My sister and I used to share clothes growing up. I have a new name for her, Kendra whispered. Never knew. Everything she has come from a second-hand store. We all laughed. Maya stood by the fence. She was holding a jump rope, but did not come over to us to ask if we wanted to play. After a while, she folded it, double, rolled the ends around each hand, and started jumping. She jumped around the whole schoolyard without stopping. She didn't look up once. She just jumped, jumped, jumped. So how is Maya changing? She went from asking all the classmates to play every day to no longer asking. Why is that? Maybe she finally hit her breaking point and could no longer take the rejection. The next day, Maya's seat was empty. In class that morning, we were talking about kindness. Miss Albert had brought a big bowl into class and filled it with water. We all gathered around her desk, watched her drop a small stone into it. Tiny waves rippled out, away from the stone. This is what kindness does, Miss Albert said. Each little thing we do goes out like a ripple into the world. Start thinking about what that means. I'm going to read it one more time. Each little thing we do goes out like a ripple into the world. That's a simile and something you're going to go over in your Google Slides activity. Start thinking about what you think that means. Then Miss Albert let us each drop the stone in as we told her what kind things we'd done. Joseph had held the door for his grandmother. Kendra helped to change her baby brother's diaper. Even mean old Andrew had done something. I carried teacher's books up the stairs, he said. And Miss Albert said it was true. I stood there holding Miss Albert's rock, in my hands silent. Even small things count, Miss Albert said gently. But I couldn't think of anything and passed the stone. What is Chloe starting to realize? She's starting to realize that she doesn't show kindness or do kind acts in her life. And you know what? Let's take a look at that illustration. How is she feeling as she comes to this realization? Does she realize that she's not the kindest that she wants to be? She's probably very disappointed in herself. Maya didn't come to school the next day or the day after that. Each morning I walked to school slowly, hoping this would be the day Maya returned and she looked at me and smiled. I promised myself this would be the day I smiled back. Each kindness, Miss Albert said, makes the whole world a little bit better. So Chloe has a plan to be kind. But is she given that opportunity to put her plan in motion? No, because Maya's not coming to school. I wonder why. But Maya's seat remained empty. And one day, Miss Albert announced to the class that Maya wouldn't be coming back. Her family had to move away, Miss Albert said. Then she told us to take out our notebooks. It was time for spelling. What do you think is going through Chloe's head, knowing that she'll never have the opportunity to smile back at Maya? That afternoon, I walked home alone. When I reached the pond, my throat filled with all the things I wish I would have said to Maya, each kindness I had never shown. I threw small stones into it over and over, watching the way the water rippled out and away, out and away. Like each kindness, done and not done. Like every girl somewhere, holding a small gift out to someone, and that someone turning away from it. Chloe is always turned away from Maya's sweet, kind smile gesture, and she's starting to regret that. I watched the water ripple as the sun sets through the maples, and the chance of kindness with Maya became more and more forever gone. And again, she's realizing her chance of kindness with Maya is gone. She's not going to have that opportunity. And that's the end. So what does the author want you to know after reading the story? What is his message or the theme of the book?